CFG Game Cast, episode number 147, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream on Fridays, a new episode on Fridays, and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love, give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any podcast services, or go to our main website, freaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today, I only have one co-host who basically was the inspiration of Zero Cool in the Hackers movie. I got the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, my dear?
Yeah, you're right. I'm a hacker. Yo, it's been, like you said, man, it has been a week. We got some, we did get a stream in last night, played some Destiny 2. So that was nice. I didn't really get a lot of game playing in, this week though. But what we're going to be talking about, here in a little bit is, we had talked about this before, is Disney Dreamlight Valley, which, my daughter was super pumped about. So, that came out. I know a lot of people are enjoying that stuff. There's been, I mean, this is a spicy week though. You had Thor: Love and Thunder that came out on Disney Plus. Cobra Kai season 5 dropped today.
Have you seen Thor: Love and Thunder yet? I
did. I've actually watched it twice now.
What do you think of it? Because I don't even like.
People were
kind of.
So this is my take on that. I feel like, especially within the universe and within the MCU, there's been a lot of darker, heavier tones in a lot of the shows and movies that have come out. So this was kind of like a palate cleanser. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It wasn't something that was meant to be taken too seriously. I didn't feel like there was any kind of like super consequential thing that happened that's gonna, flip the MCU on its side. Although I still feel that there was importance in set up things, but it was just a silly, dumb movie. Again, I watched it in 4D. Thank you again to Snake Eyes for that recommendation, because that made it 10 times more fun. I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, dude! Like doing it in 4D, like it was a blast.
Why? Wait. How do you do it in 4D?
4D, dude. So like, it's like basically like being like when you it's like these movie theater seats, and they're like, it's almost like being in a roller coaster seat or something like that. And like there's air, like they move, like there was a stabbing, and like it, like something poked me in the back, like I was getting stabbed. Like, dude, like the water, like it just made it like, I mean, like crazy, like, movements with the camera and stuff. Like there was one point where I was like, dude, I might need a seatbelt. Like I might fall out of my chair. Like, it was intense. It was awesome. It made that movie 10 times better for me. That's anyway. And then I watched it with the kids in a normal theater afterward, and I didn't have nearly as much fun. But again, the jokes were kind of, you know what I mean? Like it just, yeah, it wasn't really anything, it was just a fun, dumb kind of movie. Although I kind of like, I wish they would kind of like, it was cool for Ragnarok. Like I felt like he just basically tried doing the same thing. Like the jokes and stuff like that just weren't hitting like they did that first time. So
I mean, I think it's better than the second one. I don't think it takes much to be better than the second one. But but like, I still am on the fence with it. It's kind of weird. Like I don't hate it, but I don't like it. It's just, I think, I classify it as like the Eternals. Because The Eternals wasn't a bad movie.
I want to go back and rewatch The Eternals, actually. I think there is more to that than even I was able to comprehend within just watching it one time. That's definitely one I want to revisit, because I think there are a lot of implications throughout that whole MCU universe that is going to end up tying into that, or in the Eternals and the stuff that's going on in there as well. So, Thor: Love and Thunder, I'm just like, all right, they set up, I mean, again, I very much, they've got to be working towards like a Young Avengers or something, because you have all these younger people now that have been introduced throughout shows and movies and stuff like that. So,
have you been watching She-Hulk?
I've been watching She-Hulk. Yeah, I enjoy it, dude. I don't know. Again, I don't understand people like
funny. Yeah, people just like to bitch, in my opinion. But there's an outcry of this episode that happened last
Hold on, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched the newest one yet. Yeah.
This is no spoilers of the episode itself. But apparently, people are pissed because it's spoiling parts of The Sopranos in this one, and people are getting angry at that. And then I'm thinking to myself, that show was like stopped like in 2009,
something like. It's been a grip, dude. Yeah, like you cannot get mad at that. Like you've had plenty of time to be able to watch it. At this point, that's on you.
I think they're scraping reasons on why they don't like this show. But I mean, I love I just looked it up. Sopranos 2007 was the last episode of Sopranos. So it's been like literally where we are 2022. It's been 15 years.
It's been 15 years. I was like, I graduated in 2006. So I graduated college in 2006.
Oh my God. It's crazy.
So I moved to Vegas in 2006.
Yeah. I think it's getting to a point that it's becoming like a troll in itself about like why people hate why people are hating the show. I mean, it's like, no, I like it. I like She-Hulk.
Yeah, and that is meant to be a comedy. Again, whether it's your flavor of comedy or not, like I'm still enjoying it, and there's all kinds of little things and Easter eggs and cameos and stuff like that for me, that's fun. You know, I love seeing those crossover things, and like that very much is you know, I felt like they really do a good job of capturing the essence of She-Hulk from the comics and applying some of those tactics and things within the show.
Right, exactly. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, anyways, but I know. But I'm
People
sorry, we kind of
complain.
really veered off on the episode.
Yeah.
So, like, but you played Destiny yesterday. Was there anything else you were any other games you were playing this week?
No, I really didn't get a lot of chance to play much at all, man. Between work and just kind of resting and doing people things and stuff like that. But I did oh my goodness, I played a little bit of Live Alive. I'm close to beating that, but I've been really
Is there only one ending, or is there multiple endings on that game?
I don't know how it all ties. Like I still have two more separate stories to do. And then I'm guessing at some point they'll come together or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then like fight the ultimate big boss or something. We'll see. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like it. What about you, man? I know I think you got some, was it Final Fantasy that you were playing earlier?
I was playing Final. Well, man, I didn't play anything this week. But I did. Yeah, but I was playing Final Fantasy. I was going to play it this week, but I was busy too. So yes, but I don't know. It's been to be honest with you though, it's been a rough 24 hours. So like I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So basically, I'll share it. It's not even a big deal. At least everything is somewhat straightened out now. So like you know, that rock over there. F that rock. I hate the show. That's Twitter in a nutshell. And scene, essentially, for Twitter in a nutshell. Yeah. So basically, my car was stolen last night, and I was like, are you kidding me? So I got off work. I work from home. I got off work, and then I go outside because I needed to get some paperwork out of my car, and I realized my car is missing. And I was like, "What the heck, dude? Like, of course, this has to happen to me, you know." So called the police, did the report, did all the stuff. But like, I couldn't go to sleep because I was just triggered. I'm not gonna lie, I was triggered. I was like, yeah, I was completely triggered because it's never happened before. It's never happened to me before, and I would never wish this on anybody. So, except for Smitty. But so
wow, terrible dude, terrible person. Yeah. That's why it happened, folks. That's why it happened to him. Because he was thinking it.
Because I was thinking it. But you didn't have to say it. Because you know in your heart. That's what you really want. Yeah. So I was so mad. So I did not go to sleep at all last night. I just ended up watching a lot of Cobra Kai, the new season, and then decided, you know what, while I'm watching it, let me wait till the office opens up. Contacted them. They said to me that like they were looking it up, they found out what happened, and apparently one of the neighbors or one of the people that were living in my area got a new parking spot. They said that they were in my parking spot. They thought it was theirs, and they called the tow truck on me. and they towed my car away. So I've been living here for 3 years, and they just picked it up. A random person just picked it up and just said, "Hey, this is my spot now," and just towed it away. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, they have that kind of power?" And then they said, "No, they don't. They don't usually. It's hard for people to just do that." So I was mad. So they the tow truck people said that they weren't going to drive my car back to me. They said I had to go to them, which is of course a tow truck area. So it's out there in Timbuktu area. So 20, 30 miles away. So I had to go take an Uber just to get my car back. And finally got my car back and took care of all that stuff. So like when it was all said and done, it was literally an ordeal that I had to deal with for the past 5 hours. I'm probably running on like 3 hours of sleep right now, but still, I'm just glad I got my car back. I'm glad that it wasn't really stolen. Oh my God. But I was like, yeah, I was just to be honest with you, I was just not in a good mood for a bit of it. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. But, and also thanks to the folks too on Facebook as well too. So really appreciate that. But no, glad I got that out of the system. So, yeah, so that was my crazy story of the week, and now I have an official countdown on my computer, and this is real. I have an official countdown on my computer on when I'm leaving this goddamn place. I'm done. Like when I got my car, I was like, okay, 60-day notice this day. Then it's like, okay, T-minus so and so. When the house is ready, F this place. Yep. So there you go. Yeah, yeah. So I know, but I know most of y'all folks don't want to listen to us be bitching about our car troubles and the MCU universe's opinions of us. So let's just go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion from the previous week in the world of video games. The topic would or could be a specific game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry as a whole. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want to talk about it with you, the viewers/listeners on twitch.tv/CFG Games that's actively on inside the chat. So if there's something you want to chime in about what we talk about, by all means, we welcome it. We want you to just type it inside the chat. Let us know what you think. We will discuss back, and that's how a conversation works. So, so let's go with Smitty.
Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation, y'all.
Let's create conversations.
Yeah, that's right. Yo, dude. So I talked about this here a while ago when I first heard about this Disney Dreamlight Valley. I had seen the trailer. We took a look at it, and I was like, oh, that looks super cute. I was like, I guarantee you that's something my daughter would totally be about. And basically what I gathered was like, it's kind of like almost like an Animal Crossing meets Stardew Valley, I guess, and
really? Okay, I got
yeah. So there's
vibes.
Yeah, no. So there's totally because like you can garden and you can fish, you gather resources, but there's also a story to it as well. And basically you're going around doing quests. And again, I've been watching videos and watching people play, and I watch my daughter play and stuff like that. And like basically there's some magical thing, bad stuff is happening. You come into town to eradicate it and hopefully make things all good. So that's what, that's kind of like the basis, the general idea of it. Now, the thing about it, though, and this is weird. So this is supposed to be a free-to-play game. It's got Disney IP. I can't remember who the developer is on it. I'm completely spacing it. But you basically are going around this village. You start interacting with some of the, like, you see Mickey and Goofy, and like they'll send you off the quests. You can get you can go fishing, like you can see there. You can do cooking, gardening, and then you can sell stuff that you make for items inside there. Like there's a physical store that you can go to. I think it might be Scrooge McDuck, that you can go and buy like items and stuff like that from to basically customize your character. I would say, like, as far as the customization on the character goes, like there's a decent amount of options to be able to create a character. I was pretty impressed as far as with that. Obviously there could be, you can get more in depth with it, but for a game like this, I feel like it It was a perfect amount there. And then you go in, and I'm not really sure exactly, so right now this is early access. Like I said, they plan on releasing next year is going to be on PC. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. And I think most of them, I don't think it's available yet. Early access for PlayStation. I think it is for Switch, and I know it is for PC because we have it. It's part of Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, you have this game right now. So you go in, you can customize and stuff like that. But like essentially what they've set up is almost like a battle pass type of thing that you go through, and different activities give you progress, XP, you get money, and then you progress around this along this battle pass. The thing that I wasn't sure about is like if there's any kind of like gotcha mechanics. It doesn't seem like you're able to like get any kind of like time locks or anything. So like you're able to replenish your energy to continue to be able to do activities. There is a separate set of currency. So they're going to be selling, I'm guessing, cosmetic things and stuff like that. But from what I've gathered, it doesn't seem like there's any kind of pay to play mechanic. Or pay to win mechanics or anything like that. So, I mean, legit watching, I kind of want to play and jump into it because, I mean, if you like those types of games, like this is definitely going to be right up your alley. Not only that, but think about it. It's Disney. How many different IPs then can you bring into this sandbox? And this is almost like there's Sims elements to it as well. So I highly recommend this. This is something fun, I think, for both adults and kids are really going to enjoy this as well. So I wanted to see if what your thoughts were on it. Again, this is going to be free to play next year. Right now, for the payment and stuff like that, you can pay to do like there's 3 different tiers. There's like a $29.99, a $49.99, and I believe a $69.99 are the different tiers.
Like what kind of
digital stuff, digital assets that basically once the actual game comes out, people will not be able to get those assets. So it's, if you plan on, it's having that kind of FOMO and going off that FOMO of, hey, you better get this stuff because it's exclusive and nobody else, you'll never be able to get these again. So that's kind of like, that's the rub right there is like, oh, do I do that? Cause I was looking at it, I was like, well, do I do that? I was like, what am I talking about, dude? It's like, this is me for my daughter. Like
this is more for your daughter than it is for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I even thinking about that? And then I saw it was on Game Pass and I'm like, perfect. I will spend nothing. Not really, but you know what I mean? I have Game Pass. So, it ended up working out. Yeah. So she has, the only thing that I wish it was for Switch though. Cause that means that she can only play this on my computer. So it's just like, I don't like that part because then it ties up my computer.
Well, until it comes out, you said it's going to come out on consoles eventually. It's going to come out next year on consoles, right? So
yeah, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It might be out on consoles. I know it definitely is for Switch. I just couldn't remember what they said about PS4 and Xbox. If that was something that it wasn't ready for those yet, or if it is. But eventually it'll be out on everything, huh?
It's out on Switch now, or it's
going out on Switch now, dude.
Oh, so yeah. What's the problem? Why would she have to play it on PC? Oh, because you don't want to pay for it.
I don't want to pay for it.
Okay, I got you. I thought there was a free to play version of the game. That's why I was thinking.
Next year when it officially releases, that will be the free to play, and it is going to be a free to play version. You're just getting right now. We're just basically getting early access to it, and being able to do that stuff. And I imagine that this stuff should carry over to the actual release. This is like season 0 of it, I guess you could say.
What a weird model that is. Like
it is kind of a weird model.
Like you're saying, yeah. So basically, the tier system is prior. It's like you reserve the game for that amount, but then when the game comes out, they're switching over to a full free to play. So what are they going to do? They're going to do a freemium model after the game is out. So full microtransactions within the game. Is that? That's what it sounds like.
There technically is already microtransactions because you can use real money to get this other currency that then will go for, I'm guessing, these exclusive digital clothing or something to put in your house or something of that nature. Now, if they were to do something and say, oh, put a gardening hoe behind that paywall, that to me would not be right, because then essentially you wouldn't be able to garden without a hoe. And I don't know if that's the thing. That might not be the best example.
You can't garden without a hoe. That is Smitty's advice for the day.
Yo, happy weekend, everybody. Lord. But yeah, no, this is something I definitely, especially if you have Game Pass, I would say check out. I've been watching videos and stuff like that too. So and I've been seeing some people are saying, man, this might be better than Animal Crossing, just because I know they've been throwing around that a little bit. They've been throwing that around a little bit, and like I definitely see this as being a direct competitor of Animal Crossing. But yet you have so many recognizable characters that you can put into this world. And then if you think about the Sims elements of it, I mean, shoot, that alone, look how big that community is. And then it's going to be free to play too. So the people are, and when it's free to play, especially you're going to have a younger demographic that's going to hop on and want to jump in and play this and whatnot. So I'm also curious to see if eventually down the road, because I think they said that was part of because there's a weird Kickstarter element to this as well. And one of their goals was they were going to look to be able to add in the ability for multiplayer for people to be able to basically come and visit your island, essentially is what they unlocked it. So it's something that's going to be coming at some point in time down the road. I'm curious to see how that's going to work then with communication. And then if you do have a lot of minors and younger kids that are playing this, what they're going to do to make sure that they're staying safe and people, because you guys know the internet and people, they'll act a fool and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'd like to see some sort of protection if they move forward and when they move forward with that path.
Okay, that sounds very true and it sounds crazy, but that's awesome though. I mean, it sounds like a very cool thing. I just want to see Princess Smitty. There's a character that you create, just Princess Smitty, dude. It's
I'm gonna get in there eventually with a character. I'm sure. I gotta take a look at it, but I was like, all right, man, I could throw some hours at this game and just mess around. Especially I love Disney characters, So this is just a fun
fan of these kind of those kind of games. I mean, myself with the the relaxing. Oh, here, design your house and build the thing, catch some flies.
Yeah, no, and I can attest to that as well, dude. Because I do have like power washing simulator and stuff like that. Does not look fun to me. None of those games look fun to me. But I love a good chill and be able to relax. The designing side, I'm not a big designing person either. That's more of a nuisance to me than anything. I just like being able to, again, I like survival games as well, and being able and having those kinds of elements of doing that stuff. And then if you could have people on, I could see where you want to pimp out your island or whatever, or make it look fancy, or you got some exclusive stuff that other people don't have, and maybe you can throw together events. I feel like this is a perfect example of putting together a sandbox for people and then being able to see what they're able to create in that sandbox. I think is eventually we'll end up getting to.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll definitely see, because I just think that the whole thing seems very it seems like it to be very it looks very fun, looks very subtle, and then I'm really more into the facts of saying that this might be better than Disney, might be better than what's it called,
Animal Crossing.
I was like, wow, okay.
Those are bold statements, Cotton.
Very bold statements. Very bold.
Yeah, I definitely have to dive in deeper just to see. Because I want to see eventually, right? You have to get to some sort of wall. You're going to hit something to where it's all right, what do I do now? So I'm curious to see what end game looks like. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to collect. There's new quests and stuff like that rotate. So really, I think that I think it's also going to be a matter of how fresh they're going to keep that content. Because if they're going on a battle pass type of style, you've got to be introducing new elements to it. It can't just be that same grind over and over and over again. We know the pain of that, but again, too, maybe they're going for this again. This demographic is a younger demographic, so it could be different for them. And you know, I'm speaking from my age, so what's not for me doesn't mean isn't for other people, and I'm sure they've already thought about that. So
yeah, but you're a giant man child. I mean, there's a difference between like, when it comes to the things like what you like is not the norm for the same people that's around your age. That's that's around the same age as you. You know, so I mean, that's what I would say. I mean, yeah. So yeah, giant man child, man. It's fine. It's cool.
Golly.
That's not an insult. I would consider myself to be a man child, but that's just what
I don't know how to
man.
feel about that. I just don't know how to feel about that.
Just take the compliment.
You might as well just call me a man, baby. Like,
see,
you're a man, baby.
I didn't call you a man, baby. I called you a man child. At least it's better than a baby. So
that
there you go.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah. So I mean, well, that's cool. Well, I just definitely like well, that's good. At least it's a positive situation because like when this was announced and when we discussed about it, we had limited information on this, and I'm glad that I'm definitely glad that if the game is showing some sort of fruits of labor is that's a good sign. I guess the next test is how many people are still playing it in a month's time, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah. Is this game like a month? Is this game like an online thing, or is this something that you create your own world and then you could traverse someone else's, area?
I think that's how it's going to end up being. Right now, it's still single player. So there's not even any kind of multiplayer like mechanic in it right now. So that would be something that's added later. Again, they had that as like a bonus goal for reaching a milestone with like their Kickstarter or whatever, which is crazy to me. It's like, why do they need a Kickstarter when they've got Disney's backing? Or do they have Disney's backing? I don't understand that.
Here's the thing with me with the Kickstarters, and when companies do that, it just like it sickens me. It really does. Like Kickstarters are I think like Kickstarters are not meant for big companies, in my opinion. I think Kickstarters are meant for companies. Yeah, are meant for people that are meant for smaller deals. And then when you see companies like Disney to be like, because it's not because Disney is probably not a Disney owned company, but rather there's a company that's being made, that a company made this and Disney is publishing it for for said company. But that doesn't make it right, because that means like you have a big spender that's behind you and you're still Kickstarter, you're still asking other people for money, and that's I am not a fan of at all.
I definitely side-eyed that too. Like, they got a Kickstarter? Like, what? Like, Disney's name is on there. You are using their characters. Like, you're telling me they couldn't bankroll freaking like, exactly. What?
No, that it doesn't make any sense, and I always hated when I see that. Like, I think one of the worst was a Sega. No, it was Sony, because Sony doubled the amount of the Kickstarter program for Shenmue 3 or the new Shenmue game that came out on PS4, knowing because they were going to publish it on PS4. So they already had the big publisher, but the publisher still did a Kickstarter so they can get money from the individuals. And Sony was going to double whatever the individuals were going to get. And I was like, that's stupid, dude. I don't like it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then later on, they made another Kickstarter for the same game, which is crazy to me. So
I'm like, what are you talking about, man?
It's like, don't talk to your daddy Sony at that point, man. Don't try to drain us. My God.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know. People are really shady when it comes to that. But anyways, that's cool. That's good. Well, okay, cool. Well, my topic, I also was played the game over this weekend on my own just to see how it was, because I was actually curious about it. And I decided to play Last of Us Part 1 on the PS5, the remaster of Last of Us Part 1. And I have to say, okay, so if the game plays and feels good, it's like it's weird. It's a weird situation in my opinion with this game. Like, it's a game that I don't think needed to be made, like, at all. That's what sucks about this, because the game itself is, I mean, if you've never played the game before, get it. You need to get it. It's a masterpiece. If you've never experienced Last of Us at all, or if you played Last of Us Part 2 and you never played Last of Us Part 1, play Part 1 to fill that garbage out of your mouth with the Part 2, and then just play Part 1. All right. It's a excuse me. But yes, Part 1 is the must get if you've never played it, and I urge folks to play it. It's a great game. And but that being said, the game is, I feel that game is like a one and done, because like there's no new game plus, there's no like, you know, urge for you to play it again, because the game does such a great way of storytelling of the beginning to the end that there's not really a reason for you to kind of go back to it unless you're wanting to complete it or be a completionist about it. And that is perfectly okay. If they wanted to set it up that way to just tell the story, they did an excellent job doing it. They showed the trials and tribulations of what on their trek, and they did it. So it's great. So what was hard for me was this. I played it originally on the PlayStation 3 back in the day when it first came out. And when I played it, I was like, wow, this is like, I gave, like, at the time, I gave it a perfect score. If you check our website, shameless plug, confreaksandgeeks.com, I gave it a 5. Like a 5, a perfect score on this game. Back like when this game came out, like 11 years ago, like a long time ago.
It was a while,
yeah. So then, so I was like, great. So when PS4 came out and they were like saying, hey, we edged it up, we made it nicer, we made the tones look better, smoother and stuff with the Last of Us remaster version, I was like, okay, let me play it. And I tried to play the original version of the game, but that's like, I know what's going to come, so the magic is gone. But I will say this: I never played the expansion because the expansion came late after it. Never came out at the same time as the original. Yeah. So I played that, and it was fun. It was great. It was great. So and I bought the remaster on that for $8 when it was on sale. So I was just like, okay, I'm cool with that. Now, the Last of Us Part 1 on the PS5, beautiful looking game. This game is basically like showing off what the PS5 can do. If anything, this should be like the sample of what PS5 games will be when games are going to consistently be exclusive to the next gen systems. This is what the game should be like, in my opinion. Very nice, very gorgeous. Problem is, I have no care to play it. Like I've tried playing it. I've tried Smitty, I tried 5 different times to be like, okay, let me see how far I can go. 20 minutes. Like I got past the tutorial, and then I just got bored, man, because the problem I think I'm hitting, and this is just me, and it's not, and it's weird to say that this is to no fault of the game itself, but I will say it's to the fault of the developer, is that they didn't introduce anything new. This game is a one-to-one of, this is a one-to-one story of what I played 11 years ago. I still remember what I did 11 years ago. Maybe not remember everything, but I do know the gist of what is the story of what's going to happen and stuff like that. So the magic is still gone, completely gone for me to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me with that aspect of it, but like it kind of ruled in the question, why was this game remade? Because like the problem is that this game is a $70 game. This game is not cheap. It is not like a game that should have, like, even for a remastered version of this game, it is. And I understand why, because they built it from the ground up. Why did they build it from the ground up? That means that they had a budget to build a game that they already existed in their background to build from the ground up. They couldn't build a new IP. They couldn't do anything else with that same said budget. They decided to build a game that they've already previously re-released not so long ago, and then they decided to basically make the same game. Only differences that they added: they removed multiplayer mode. They added a lot of accessibility options, like what they did with part 2, and that's it. I was a little like, if I paid for it, I would have been pissed personally, but I should be pissed at myself, because I'd be like, okay, why would I spend this money, the money for this? And it's so sad. It's just sad to me, that I've never been this impartial of the game, because the game is not bad, but it's more like, the real question is why the hell was this game created,
Mhm.
Smitty, I was just like, I know you haven't played it, but what do you think? Like, are you kind of like on board with what I'm thinking, or like, what do you think?
Yeah, dude, I'm not into going back and replaying games unless it's something like a Detroit Become Human, or something where you can change the outcome by changing the choices that you've made. Like you're saying, this is a 1-to-1. I know it's going to look gorgeous, but this isn't worth $70 to me. I've already played the game, and like you're saying, the magic is gone. I know what happens. I know what happens in the second one. So, it's like, for me, like, it lives in that time. And I don't need to go back and play it with high fidelity and this and that. If this was like like a humble bundle or something like that, even then I couldn't see myself going back. And even if I own the game, I don't see myself going back and playing it. I have no urge to. I want new stories. I want different things. There's other things that I've already, this had its time for me, and that's it. I don't need to re-experience it. Not only that, but the fact that they just, redid it on PS4, it's like, why? Yeah. Why would you go and do it again? Like, one more again. I know there's a lot of people that are excited about this. I've seen people talking about it, and they're all geeked because, like, they have done their own things where they'll do like different challenges and different way to spice it up, so it makes it a little different. I didn't even realize, but there is a community for that. I thought the multiplayer for this game was dope. So it kind of sucks that the multiplayer is not in this. It's like that is, to me, like, that was a huge boon to that was the multiplayer. So it's like, I understand why they didn't, but it's like, to me, this is total cash grab. It just feels like a cash grab, and
but is it really a cash grab when you're just, I mean, I would love to see the numbers of how much this thing sold, like if it's even successful for it. But I said earlier before the stream started that, like, because I know we talked about it during one of the episodes, but I thought this would be the perfect game for them to put inside their day one release games, on their online packages for their PlayStation Plus. And I think that would have been, sold it better than it would have sold individually, in my opinion. Or I might be wrong, because I don't I'm not a billionaire like Sony, but like, I just think that they really, they kind of dropped the ball on this one. Maybe maybe I'm just being a little too harsh, because this is my personal opinion on it, and I do have a bias in it since I have played the other two and stuff. But I guess, but looking on the outside of that, I will say, devil's advocate, that if you have not played it, this is not. I'm not saying the game is bad, because the game is good. It is very good. It's just come on. It just doesn't make any, like, nonsense sense. Like, I would still give it a 5 out of 5, but it's like, it's weird, because, like, should I dock it because of price? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, this game is a classic, but it's just a remaster. It's just a re-remaster,
Right.
It's like, and I'm in a kind of like a moral dilemma there. It's like, oh, so the original version is a 5, but then the PS5 version is going to be a 4.5 because they removed stuff, so you get less out of it.
I mean, that is true. I think that would be valid. And I mean, I understand it, especially like you're saying, for folks that haven't played it before, absolute must. But I could see this going up on the PlayStation Store here maybe not before the year's out, but maybe like going on there like early next year or something like that. Them dropping it in like the premium or something, which I'll wait for that. But again, even if I had it in my library, I probably wouldn't pick this up and play it again. maybe I would if like if Scorp Kitty like played it or something like that. Then like, and even then I wouldn't play it. I'd watch more than anything. You know, I was like, I wouldn't mind watching it again, but like as far as playing again, like I don't have a need.
That would be the only drive for you to do is because Scorp Kitty so Scorp Kitty played it. She hasn't.
She's never played it. No, she probably doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah, so like if Scorp Kitty's never played it, then see the magic is still there for her. But like you just love it. That would make sense. But actually, no, it wouldn't make sense for you to spend $70 just for that experience. But
no, I wouldn't. I said, even like hey, if it comes out on the PlayStation tier, PlayStation Plus stuff, like great, I will absolutely put that in there and you know, like hey, you should play this. And then watch her experience it, because I know it'll be fun for me to watch her go through it, and then I'd be able to experience the story again. But this time, you know, being on the outside
passenger seat.
Yeah, exactly. Yep,
that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. I think it's going to be.
I do have appreciation in the fact that they brought in all the accessibility. Because Brandon Cole, I know that he never got the chance to play the first one. He played the second one because the accessibility option. He worked on the second one as well, as far as with the accessibility options. So I know that he's stoked about being able to play this first one for the first time. So I know there's got to be a lot of folks too that didn't get to experience that. So they'll be able to experience it for the first time as well, which is huge.
See, that's why I'm saying, like, I would never tell anyone to stay away from this game, because I think people need to play this game. People definitely need to play this game. And I just feel like, but it has to be brand new people, like people that has never had the chance to play the original one, or whatnot, to be that. So this is a specific niche group that needs to buy this game, I would say. Would say over that. But man, it's like, but it just feels weird though. It's like, oh, okay. Because like we like to score, we score pretty well, but then this one was like, I don't want to knock it off because knock off the grade because just removed multiplayer. And to be fair, multiplayer servers are not active anymore, so it's not like you can play the old school multiplayer servers on the PS3 or the PS4 version anymore either. So yeah, it's just okay.
Yep.
But it's a cool one. Yeah, it's cool. So guys, folks who didn't play it, get it. Folks who did play it, save your money. You're not going to play it. If you're like me and you're just like, you know what? I've already seen this. I've done this thing. I've already done this whole adventure. I just can't. I got other stuff to do.
Good. Yep.
Let's play Hungry Hippos or some stuff. I don't know.
There it is. There it is.
All right. Smitty, what else you got?
Yeah, so we also had to talk about real quick. This had a rough start, but it seems to be getting back on track. Cyberpunk 2077. They just recently this week dropped the Edge Runner update 1.6, and which coincidentally, well, not really coincidentally, they did this on purpose. But Edge Runner, the show for Netflix, the animated series that's coming out on Netflix, I believe is dropping here next week or soonish. So they did this in side by side with that for this update, which they put in some nice things, and then they also announced their big DLC expansion that will be coming out next year called Phantom Liberty, which should be interesting. I'm not like it looked like. So here's my thing, and I know that Cyberpunk got a lot of bad rap, and rightfully so, but I didn't experience a lot of that stuff that other people did, and I absolutely love the world. I love that it's an adult game. Like, I literally was playing it the other day, this past weekend. That's the other game I played, was Cyberpunk. I went in, it had been a grip since I had played it, and I was like, I just want to go in and have some good adult fun. So I fired it back up. It took me forever to actually start playing because I had updates and things like that I had to go through. I was like, gosh, dude. But yeah, we know that they're bringing transmog to this update. This is alive right now, so you can then finally, because you can then have higher armor gear, but actually wear an outfit that you actually want to wear. So this is gonna be great to see. I know that they've introducing some new guns. And I believe there's some new story quests as well that are being brought back or being brought into this. And then within Liberty, the Liberty, not Liberty City. What I say was Liberty something update. The big expansion. That one's going to be bringing back. I know. I knew that I was wrong, but that's the first thing I thought of. But they're going to be bringing back Johnny Silverhand, Keanu Reeves back in for that expansion. That should be a big one, and I'm not 100% sure. We got a little bit of a tease for it and whatnot, and it looks dope, but I'm not 100% sure exactly what the details are. It looks like we're going to be going to a new area, probably some new, maybe a new clan or group that we'll be interacting with here, and basically opening up. Because if you look at the map on there, like there's areas that it looks like they had already planned on being able to expand to. So I'm guessing it's probably in one of those darker areas where they'll then expand this big thing into. After that, though, I'm hearing that that's basically all we're going to get, and they're going to kind of be, excuse me, it sounds like they might just be kind of done with it, which is really sad because I still think that there's a ton of potential. And I was talking with Davis a little bit before the show. You know, there is a strong modding community in there. So I would love to, if they do end up just walking away from this. Also, that big expansion is only going to be for next gen consoles. It is there. They are not going back and doing those kinds of shenanigans again. So Phantom Liberty, that's what it is. So yeah, that was a smart decision on their end to do that. But I don't know, man. Like I would love to see some more, and I hope this isn't it for this game. I feel like there's a lot that they could do with it, and if it is, then hopefully the modding community picks it up and they're able to do stuff. But I'm curious to see too that the Netflix show. I was like, I'll probably check that out. Maybe see if I can't get a little more into get some like I'll always take some lore, especially for a game. So it's like that to me is a lot easier, more digestible, as opposed to getting messages that are broken up throughout the city and you don't know what connects to this and that. Like I love that kind of stuff. I do the same thing with Destiny. Like I'll go like my name is Bife. Like I always watch his videos because he goes very deep into the lore and like connects things and stuff like that. So it's like I have a better understanding of what the hell is going on. It's like, oh yeah, this is great. That's why I'm so pumped about it. So it's like I'd love to be able to get some of that insight and get some of that lore. Hopefully that show is able to provide, and they're able to kind of piggyback back off of that a little bit and incorporate some more of that into the actual game. But yeah,
I think a problem of them to just decide to just walk away for the project like this, because I mean, it's
no, I get it.
It's not like they did they did a horrible job with the announcements of what they did with because the setback that they had on the previous gen systems, and they definitely have been showing, you know, they've been working on patches ever since that whole time they dropped the ball. But if they wanted to do an update, and then if they know that as long as the update is good for the new what's it called, Justice City or whatever is good, then by all means, I mean, yeah, because I mean they probably want to do other IPs. I mean, they're not a big studio. And it would be 3 years for them to release their first big DLC 3 years after the original, after Cyberpunk 2077. You really can't like have like a long, I mean, people there. I mean, what's cool about this is that there is still a good community of people still playing, and like you said yourself, there's a good, healthy mod community that loves to do stuff for this game still, and that's great. And so now you have a community that still loves playing the game. Game is probably, I would say, underrated now, and you know, since that whole debacle and stuff, still a good game and everything. I think it's a good treasure for it, and then now it's like at a cheap price to get, not $60. Like now it's like $20 now to get. It's perfect. So they don't need to really bring all their development for this game as much anymore if they're wanting to work on something different. For me, I think it would be awesome if they do another Witcher. I mean,
that's true.
Like, so yeah, so I wouldn't count like the end. It sucks to see it go, but dude, it's been almost 4 years. It would be over 4 years. 3.5 years is a good run for a game that they tried on their own, because this is something they've never done before with it. Now they know what their mistakes were. Hopefully, if it's a Cyberpunk 2078, I don't know, like maybe we'll see. That they could try to improve it. But yeah, no, it ran its course. It ran its healthy course, and let it go in the sunset, kind of, in a way.
Yeah, no, I get that. There's just so much potential there with this game, and I totally understand wanting to move on and not, I just feel like so much time was wasted because they had that rough ass launch, so they spent so much time having to go back and fix crap, and then they lost so much time. It's just like, all right, dude, this is what we at least said that we were gonna do. Let's do what we said we're gonna do, and then we'll, whatever we can get from it, we'll take. So
yeah, fair enough. But it's even the big snafu that they did, the game still sold. So it wasn't like it wasn't like, oh wow, this game, there was a lot of disappointment of the game initially, but they still kept on working on the game. It wasn't like to the extent of what No Man's Sky was, but I like to call it No Man's Sky.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. But to the extent of that game, but it still showed that they cared about it, and it's gotten good. It's gotten even better than what it was. So it got a lot closer to the vision that they initially promised from the years and years of videos that they were showing the small tidbits of. So yeah, cut them a little bit of slack with that when it comes to it, but. I know. I was never on a hitter train for them. Like, I didn't experience half the issues that other people did. I had a blast playing the game. I think I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So it's like, for me, I didn't have an issue spending them ducats and doing it. Like, but I see that there was a lot of other issues and other problems that really soured how things were going for them, which was unfortunate to see. And again, it's like, I couldn't say enough. I absolutely would recommend people picking this up if you're just looking for a good adult game. Like this, it's great. It's great. A nice first person freaking adult game. It's fantastic. So why don't you ever stream it?
I don't know. I haven't played it in a while. I hadn't played it in a while, so I literally just on a random, like, you know what, dude, I think I'm gonna load up Cyberpunk, see how things are going with that, because I knew about the expansion coming out and the update and stuff like that, but like, I was just like, yeah, we'll pick it up and see, and then like I forget how much fun I have, in the world doing things and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. But like, it was later in the night and like I had to go to bed soon. So I didn't get a lot of time to play it. So I'll definitely be revisiting this. I'm sure at some point in time this weekend.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's
so
right.
they just announced the new Disney Plus show or movie. Maybe it's a movie. I don't know. A movie or a show called Mufasa, the Lion King. So it's going to be the story of Mufasa before the
of course,
Simba,
dude.
instead of it.
Of course.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do this earlier. Is it gonna be freaking live action crazy animation?
I bet you.
Or is it like a cartoon? It probably will be, dude.
They only showed the logo, which is atrocious. I'm just like, guys, come on, guys. You could do either more different kinds of lion stories or make your own up. I don't know, but.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're going to show the previous generation Lion King, because technically there's always going to be a story of the Lion King, but we don't know what generation it's going to be. But then,
right.
Anyways, but I think that so we'll see. There's no date on the new expansion, right? Or is there a date?
They just I want to say it's early 2023, but I might be making that up.
Yeah, it sounds like you're lying.
I could possibly be lying here. That is true.
It sounds like something you would do. You try to
not intentionally. I can't. There's so much in there that I'll have to take a look and see if they've actually put a date out or anything. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, okay. Well, I do have one more thing to go before we go. I was going to let you know, hey, Smitty, like, when's the last time you played your PS5?
It's been a couple of weeks at least, I think. There's the
yeah,
update, right?
that's what I was. Yeah. So I've been messing around with it. So there is a PS5 update that is now in effect for all PS5 owners that you should definitely get. It is a great. I'm sorry, I didn't discuss this before the end, but I just remembered it. That you should definitely go out there to get. This one brings this is something they should have brought in initially, which I was like wondering why they didn't in the first place. 1440p support is now on the PS5, which is we had to wait 2 years for that. Crazy, it was either 1080 or 4K. I was like, there's no in between, for computer monitors. It's like, what the hell? But anyways, so 1440p, like Xbox One had it. And I'm like, that's what I was just like. It was really weird, but so 1440p finally is now available for support on PS5, which is crazy. There's a lot of small little knickknacks and stuff that they'll allow you to do that they also added. I think one of the biggest ones, in my opinion, is game lists. They finally allowed you to put to group your list together, but you have to have there is a cap on it. So each list has a max of 100 games. So you just so you'll be able, so when you go into the game library, there's a new tab that will allow you to go into a tab that will say game list. You can create the game list and you can name it whatever you want, and then boom, right there.
Something that they brought to PS4 though too.
Folders.
Same thing. Yeah,
like that's exactly what they are. Folders.
I'm kind of surprised that like it took this long to be able to like put it back in, dude. It's like you guys were already there.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think it was something that people were complaining about enough for them to actually do something about it. That's what I don't think that they had the intentions or at all to bring it. I don't think it was a matter of like, oh, we're going to have this later. It's coming soon. It was more like people were complaining enough to say we want folders, because it was dumb on just like having a whole list of, because like, dude, you're having a list of your whole PlayStation Network stuff and your digital and your CD games, and you just have to go through all of it. You know, it was dumb. So so now they finally, I think they gave in, the conceded. They're like, yeah, you know what? It makes sense. You're right. Let's just do that. So YouTube search also goes through voice command now as well, so you can so if you use YouTube or YouTube on the PS5, or if you'll be able to speak it, and then it will work. So they also updated the app itself with certain things. I think now it's back. Now they're also going to be compatible with iOS. No, it can't be right. I think it's already had iOS. So certain new PS5 PS remote play sessions through the PS app is now going to be available, which is weird. I don't know why you would ever want
what?
I don't know why you would ever want to do that, but you can. So
wait, repeat that. You said what is available? Remote play?
PS remote play sessions through PS app. Through PlayStation app. So I don't know if that means that you can watch it, or if it's a matter that you can use your phone as a controller. That would be pretty interesting.
No, because it says remote play, because remote play would just be a mirror of, and then you should be able to connect the controller or because what I mean that's something that's available now though. It's just it's a separate app.
No,
it might be a separate app.
Yeah, remote play I thought was only for the desktop. I don't think you could do it on your phone. No. Could you?
Oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely, you can do it on your phone. I have remote play right here.
That's not remote play. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just kidding. It's a lie.
It so is, dude. It's connected I use remote play on my phone right now.
Probably that. Well, maybe there was an update on the patch that you did. You recently updated the remote play on your phone. Well,
so I'm wondering if they mean that they're going to run it through, instead of it being a separate app, they'll run it through the normal PlayStation app as opposed to a remote PS remote play app.
Okay, wait. Let me just go to the blog real quick. The PlayStation blog. which I'd still hate this website.
I know. It's like the worst way to disseminate information to people. It's like, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Here we go. Launch a PS remote play session through your PS app. Oh, okay. So you can launch a remote play session through your PS app. You were saying, it was a separate app originally. Yeah. So it's the app itself. The PS app now has remote play sessions that allow you to activate in it.
Okay. So they're just basically combining that into the PlayStation app.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. Okay, cool. So, okay. You can also request share screen through the phone as well too, which is odd. I don't know. There's a lot of weird phone implementations in this. I was like, I don't think I would ever do that. And
hey, let me watch you play real quick.
Yeah. Hey, what you playing? Hey, let me see that real quick. That kind of nonsense. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. But then also, there's also a third new model of the PlayStation 5. This isn't something that happened this week. I think they announced it last week that this the new rendition of the PS5 is now 30 is it grams or 30 grams lighter for the disc version. And I believe it was 25 grams lighter on the discless version. So those they're definitely replacing the parts. And there's a really good video on YouTube of a guy who's dismantled all the versions, and they tell you which ones is the good ones, which is the good, the great, the good, and the bad version, which I believe it was the second gen version of this. But then there's also rumors.
I didn't know there was a second gen version.
Yeah, there's one that came out immediately after the first gen. That came out last year.
Really?
Yeah, but that one is not the one that most people like. So that but the third gen is better. Is the way things are routed, it makes more sense, and it uses less materials compared to the first version. First version is it's still very good because of the amount of copper. Yeah, it's chunky. But then there are rumors about that now the way that they minimize the boards inside the PS5, if they want to, they could make a PS5 Slim. So so if they do that, it's kind of funny. I never thought I was ever going to do this, but I might buy a second PS5 because with the new house layout, I want one in the living room where the big TV is going to be, and then I just want the other one that's going to be my streaming one.
No, I get it.
Yeah, and stuff. So yeah, but if they that's what I'm probably gonna do. If it's a PS5 Slim, I'm sold. You can buy. You don't even have to tell me what it is. I'll buy it. It's like just give it to me.
Just take my wallet. Take my wallet.
I wish it was it would be easier because how the Switch is all I need is another docking bay. I don't need to buy another Switch. It's just be so nice if they could do it that way. That would be so nice. But yeah, so I don't know. Are you gonna what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go download the update? Well, I guess you don't really have a choice, but what do you think about these? What do you think about these software updates?
Yeah, no, I'll probably fire it up here after this. I forgot. I remember that it was live, and I meant to. I just haven't had time to hop on it. And anytime I've been in the bedroom, it's like, look, dude, I'm going to sleep, or I've fallen asleep, or whatever. And I just end up not playing it. So yeah, this is definitely a priority on the list, just to get that at least going tonight.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. I've been messing around with it a little bit. It's really cool. It was really cool. So yeah. It's just something that most folks especially who has PS5s, definitely get this update. You're missing out if you have not yet already. So so we okay. Folks, thank you for listening to episode number 147 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week with the whole crew on Friday. We might be changing the time, I believe. We'll probably have a discussion about that off stream, but we'll let y'all know once we update it. But if you did miss out on this episode this week, that is perfectly all right. We put it on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean. So many podcast services nowadays on Monday at each and every week. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on all sexy voices.
Ooh.
Guys, oh yeah. So guys, check us out or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to check out some awesome content that we like to do each and every week as well. Oh man, now y'all going crazy with those emotes. But guys, once again, this is Davis signing off with Smitty. Y'all take it easy. I didn't miss you this time, Smitty. So there you go.
What?
I almost did. I was gonna say this is Davis signing off, but then I was like, nope. And Smitty signing off too. There you go. You already know how I feel about you.
There it is. There it is.
Peace out,
There it
guys.
is.